Whoa. Cakes are great. As a kid, I couldn't wait for some sort of special occasion that meant a cake at the end of the day. Ice cream cake, cheesecake, black forest cake, carrot cake, spice cake, you name it. I couldn't wait to get my tiny little hands on a slice. When I entered into adulthood and got a job, however, I realized that I didn't need a special occasion to buy a cake. I just needed money. It was a whole new world, and one that I was happy to be a part of. Similarly, as a kid, I used to play a flash game called Cake Mania religiously. It was one of my go-to games whenever I was on a computer, and I was hooked on it. However, further levels were stuck behind a paywall, so I was never able to progress past the first couple of months. Either way, I still played the crap out of it back on addictinggames.com, which still hosts the game today, amazingly enough. Now, as an adult who makes responsible decisions, like buying up all her local game store's DS shovelware and cakes for dinner, I finally decided to purchase this game. Child me would be ecstatic about this. Adult me, however, is regretting a lot of her decisions that led up to this moment. Cake Mania was published in 2006 by Sandlot Games to a variety of websites, and due to its popularity, eventually got ported over to other consoles, such as the PS2, PSP, mobile devices, and the DS. The DS version is, as like most DS shovelware, all about the touchscreen. The top screen displays important information, such as the timer before the day ends and the customers currently waiting for their cakes, while the bottom screen is where all of the action happens. You play as Jill, a passionate baker who learned her craft from her grandparents. They sent her to culinary school, but when she returned with her new skills, discovered that the landlord sold their property to a big corporation. Jill, determined to keep mom and pop shops alive, starts a bakery in her house with the goal of buying back her grandparents' store. She'll show that big box business who's boss, so for the love of... Customers will file into your humble shop with a maximum of 4 customers at a time, and you'll provide them with a menu that they will use to order their special cake. Every customer is different as well, from the impatient kids to the big tipping grannies. Each holiday you also get the big guys: Santa Claus in December, Cupid in February, Dracula for Spooky Month, and for Easter, the beloved Easter Bunny? This game is all about managing your time, and your tapping. There's no undo option, so if you tap the wrong thing, you just have to suffer as Jill walks over to your mistake and waste a cake. The most frustrating mistake was trying to go for this little ship decoration and accidentally clicking on the trash can instead, causing Jill to happily toss out an otherwise perfectly good cake. But I guess it doesn't matter because, man, are cakes easy to make! According to this game, you just need to get an oven with 4 big buttons and press them whenever you need a specific shaped cake. No ingredients, no mixing, hardly any baking time. It's all very clean, state-of-the-art technology. And with no ingredients needed, you can also advertise how healthy they are. No sugar, no fat, no anything. Just cake. Order now at Jill's totally legit 100% real bakery, while supplies last. After you get your super healthy cake base, you can bring it over to the icing machine. Click on one of the 4 colors and watch it spray a clean layer of icing on top. It gets it perfect every time, no cleanup required. If a customer requests it, you'll also top off the cake with a decoration. And for the longest time, I didn't even think it was possible to go any faster than the speed of slow, because you have to buy all 4 toppers for each station before getting the option to upgrade. Bring the cake back to the customer before their hearts drop to 0 and they walk away with a questionably made cake and a sweet tip on the table for you to collect. The hearts at the top of the screen is their patience meter. From giving them the menu to delivering their cake, the hearts will continue to drop until it reaches 0. To raise the hearts back up, you can turn on the TV to distract them, or give them a tasty cupcake to bribe them into holding on, because I need this business, please don't leave, oh god! If the customer does end up leaving, they decide to take compensation for their wasted time in the form of $50. And if we're going by that logic, I can go to Sandlot Games and get $50 back from them because they wasted my time with this game. There are 48 missions to complete, being divided up into 12 at each possible location to make up months. You start off running the bakery from your house before moving on to the beach in year 2, the circus in year 3, and finally the casino for year 4, because nothing makes me crave cake more than sand, animal abuse, and gambling. At the beginning of each month, Jill writes in her journal about the customers that will be flocking to her in the upcoming month, giving you a hint on what to expect and how to manage your time in cake making. You get a limited amount of customers every mission, so in later levels you have to be almost perfect to make the most amount of coin, as even if you have plenty of time, no customers will show up. In one of the circus missions, I actually failed it twice despite being perfect and serving every customer and not making any mistakes. Had I not purchased an extra decoration for people to ask for, I most likely would have failed for a third time and lost all of my lives. This very annoyingly means that there's a certain way to purchase every upgrade, and if you aren't careful, you can end up failing because you wanted a faster oven before more decorations. It doesn't help that the game's area doesn't fit perfectly on screen, so you have to move Jill over to the right a smidge to choose one of the farther away decoration options. And the screen will move whenever you hit the barrier, making it super easy to lose your cake making groove as you inevitably click on the wrong cake base or icing layer. There were countless times I would furiously tap the right option to try and fix it, but the damage was done. There is an option to store the cake mistake on a display in hopes of some poor soul actually wanting it, but most of the time my stupid butt forgot the cake existed and I would end up making a new one. Okay, confession time? I didn't want to keep playing this game, but I did want to see how it ended, so I cheated. I used my action replay and gave myself enough money to purchase all of the upgrades, and put in a code that lets me hit select to reach my cash goal. I never said I was gonna play games legitimately, don't you judge me. If I didn't cheat, I'd never finish this game. And even with the cheats, I still had to wait for time to run out, because there was no cheat to just skip the day. Side note, I don't know if I'm going crazy, but the last 2 months of the game also felt like they took longer than the other months of the final year. After a lot of pressing the select button and wasting time, I finally got to the end of the game. And why? There could have been so much more? An extra comic page of the grandparents thanking Jill, or anything. For the amount of work that I cheated my way out of doing, this is a fairly lackluster ending. Ha! Eat that, Ron, Rebecca, Paul, Scott, Chris, Zach, and Juan. Step your game up! I'm the true cake maniac. Wait, what was that last part? New game? Back to the bakery? Oh god. Why? How could you do this to me? It's the same thing, except this time we're trying to send Gramps on Gran on a cruise? No, I can't do this. I'm so sick of this game. I'm done. I'm done. Done. This game isn't hard, but it is fairly stressful, so it's not really a sit and chill experience. All in all, I've played worse. It's not the best game by any means, but it's alright in short bursts. However, even though I had cheats on, I still don't know how you're supposed to beat the casino levels. Time goes by a bit faster, your monthly goals are higher than ever, and customers are more demanding and less patient. According to a walkthrough, you need all of the upgrades for the later casino levels, but I'm sure all but the most hardcore of Cake Mania players would have quit long before that. Whatever the case, one thing I know for sure is that this game really makes me want cake. You should go buy a cake, or ask your parents or friends to buy you a cake. Tell them it's for a special occasion. The occasion is you want cake day. Trust me, 100% works.